If YouTube decides we're going to push this person, they could make someone one of the most influential people in the world.
So the industry has become, it's not even like the industry has become tech nerds that are like in charge of all these algorithms, and they can like, who knows how it works? Who knows when they just pick and choose and what they
All
choose.
I know is YouTube thinks I want to see Ben Shapiro a lot more than I want to see Ben Shapiro. YouTube's like, I'm pretty sure you're going to love this guy.
Yeah, I don't know how it got to what I told you yesterday, right? The guy's name I asked you about, because I just found him yesterday, was Kirk.
Charlie Kirk?
Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, he's big.
I watch him and Ben Shapiro yell at college kids. That's the video.
That's such a weird one.
Now.
That is such a weird one when you sit down with like young kids that don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They've never been on camera ever, and you give them a microphone. It's, you know, even if they're willing to sign the release, 19-year-olds don't know what the fuck they're saying.
Well, the one girl,
I also,
one
it's
girl
not
was, one
right
girl was
that
getting
you should,
dominated. One girl was getting dominated on the thing, and I was going to say that, like, she even says it where I do, like, even though I'm kind of like, lady, you sound dumb. I felt genuinely bad for her when she goes, he like, gave her like some kind of smarmy, like, blah, 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 you know, and she just kind of goes, she's like, well, I'm sorry, I'm nervous. Like, I don't talk on microphone a lot. Like, I think you do. So, like, I'm so, and I was almost like, yeah, dude. Like,
of course.
You're like housing her, and when she says something and everyone's around and starts booing, and she starts kind of like smiling, but it's not a smile of like, bring it on. She's doing the smile of like, I don't know what to do. Like, she's that scary. I've just been frozen before a lot. It makes me feel bad for
Not
them.
only that, but then that girl now is internet famous. Right? So did she really understand what she was doing? Like, did she really understand what the consequences of that are when you're 19 or whatever age she is?
Also, if you're an adult and you're arguing with a child, a 19-year-old, a 20-year-old, the goal of it should always be with the tone of a like, well, look, let me give you something to consider. Like, maybe I get why you feel that way, but like, hey, maybe look at it this way. It should never be like, I want to have the crowd go, you destroy. It's like, what are you doing? It's almost
like when you ever see like a comedian who's like a kid, like a 16 or a 15-year-old kid. Like I have a hard time ever really enjoying him because I'm going like, you have no idea. You've lived absolutely no experiences. You have no like perspective on the world or anything. Maybe you understand how to tell a joke, but it's kind of yeah.
Oh, that's what it does. And that's one of making someone famous on America's Got Talent, something like that. And you're like,
he's the only guy with a big dick in any of that art.
There's so many different versions of him, though. Sometimes his dick is reasonable.
Yeah.
You know? Really big, but reasonable.
well, different states. Maybe he just, it looks like sometimes he just fucked. Sometimes he just got out of the shower.
But like the Sieg Heil one, he looked pretty reasonable. 50-year-old trans swimmer shared locker room while competing against teens.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And this is how crazy Canada's gotten. They're just like the Moonies, they're just like the Juggalos. Like, they're in a cult. They don't realize they're in a cult.
There's also you should be allowed to say that some things are weird and crazy, and that doesn't necessarily mean you have to hate them or be against them. Comedians are weird and crazy.
I'm weird and
we're
crazy.
all weird and crazy.
Okay, this is apparently, that means Wiseheart was swimming with young girls because of how fast or slow a swimmer is, not because she identifies as a young girl. But the competition is presumably separated by gender, so there's an issue where Wiseheart is competing against females while being biologically male. And also, I think, intact.
Oh.
So, which is also the weird one, right? Like, you could be a woman, but you don't even have to try that hard.
No, you don't have to do
Sorry,
much.
turn around real quick and hit you with my pussy on your back.
And you can go back and forth anytime
if
you want. You don't have to choose.
I'll call you your name if you cut your dick off.
Does anybody ever?
If you don't cut your dick off, I'm not gonna call you, or maybe I will call your name, but I might fuck it up, and I think that's okay.
Either way, he's gonna check.
Just like start kicking over PlayStation.
See, that's the problem that women are having, is that these men who decide that they're women are now they're entering into these places that are just women's only and women's events and women's things, and they're dominating like men do.
It was one of the
It's
very.
nuts.